In this week's episode of Unfinished Business, I head down to London to take the stage in front of a room packed with ambitious entrepreneurs. I break down exactly how to scale a business beyond 7 figures. Not with theory, but with proven, battle-tested strategies that I've used to build multiple 8-figure businesses. I show them how to think bigger, structure smarter, and create systems that remove them from the day-to-day. Business scaling isn't about working harder, it's about building a machine that works for you. But that's only half the story, because back at Trade Mastermind HQ, we turn up the heat. Private equity firms are buying up trades businesses at record speed because they see the potential profit within the sector. Trade Wealth Investors Club is positioned to dominate the industry. We're giving investors the access to the next generation of high growth trades companies before the big firms move in. Not only that, but you can invest in our business too. The next 12 to 24 months, I just had a great fucking idea. Write down crowdfunding for construction via Trade Wealth Investors Club. How they can invest in our trades businesses. JV to launch an investors club connects our construction businesses to investors. Email that to me. The next construction crowd cube. You can keep this in the video. That's a moment of entrepreneurial inspiration. Remember, ideas come to you when you least expect it. You've got to capture those ideas and write them down and then email them to yourself. Right, email me private equity. I know, I wanted to bring the fucking fire today to the sales team. They're going to have to wear sunglasses in the sales meeting. Yeah, I just had a great fucking idea. A great idea, a game-changing idea. What we're going to do further down the line is we're going to create crowdfunding for construction businesses that connects private equity to our trades businesses to give them the funding that they need to be able to scale. So this Trade Wealth Investors Club, doing this YouTube video just made me evolve the idea in my mind from not just us getting investment, but all the people that came on my live last night, about 50 of them, all need investment to be able to scale and grow. And Crowdcube take about 10% of the fees. So if you get 100 grand, they'll take 10 grand basically for connecting you up. So we can build a pool of investors in Trade Wealth Investors Club that want to get into construction. Because the whole point of that video was the trade sector's the next gold rush. In the next decade, this sector's going to explode. And it is if we keep driving it. But the opportunities are big. And it's happening a lot in America. But there's, Brookfield's bought HomeServe for 4.8 billion and they bought Charlie Mullins' business. And this has all happened in the last 3 years. They paid 150 million for a plumbing company out of London. So they're investing they're buying up a lot of these trades businesses. Well, we've got fucking hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So yesterday was a big education piece for them, indirectly promoting what we're doing, but huge opportunity with that. So I'm here today with some of Trade Mastermind's non-exec directors. We have here Nick Bradley. He's a private equity specialist who's given me great guidance and mentorship. And we have here Keir Warwick, who's Trade Mastermind's accountant and financial advisor. So we are building a pitch deck at the moment to go out to private equity, crowdfunding, and angel investors. And we are looking to raise a big sum of money that's going to support us with our global expansion plans.
So if you're an entrepreneur and you are looking to raise capital, some of the stuff we're going to go through today is going to be very useful to you. We're going to talk about the importance of financials, but we're also going to talk about the importance of the actual story and the pitch itself, and exactly how you prepare a business to be able to go out there to raise capital.
We've just landed at King's Cross and we're heading over to the Elite Business Seminar where I'm going to be doing a keynote talk and joining a panel of elite entrepreneurs. We help businesses to start, scale and grow to 7 figures and beyond. And today I'm here to give my time, support, mentorship and guidance to all of those people that are looking to level up. Most businesses don't scale because they never build a system or an operating model that allows them to create what I like to call the perfect repeatable week. You need to be able to generate leads, you need to be able to close those deals, you need to be able to do delivery, and then you need to be able to retain your customers. So I'm here in London today at the Elite Business Live Seminar, and I'm going to be speaking to a few hundred entrepreneurs, teaching them all that I've learned over the last decade, building 2 8-figure companies. And right right now we are heavily investing in entrepreneurs, supporting entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs. And so if you're watching this video and you're an entrepreneur and you want to start, scale and grow your organization to 7 figures and beyond, make sure you head on over to josephvalente.com. Okay, so whenever you're doing public speaking, my advice is to go and check out the environment first. You will have seen from the earlier footage, we went down and we checked out the stage, had a little walk around, and in the early years when I used to get really nervous when I was doing this, that always made me feel a little bit more comfortable with my surroundings. Now remember, in a lot of cases, audiences are relatively nervous just watching a speaker in case they get picked out or they have to ask a question. So, you know, don't feel like you're the only person in the room that feels conscious of being in the room. Whenever you're talking to an audience, try and pinpoint some people, especially the ones that are engaging with you. Look them directly in the eye. Don't forget to smile. And if you're going to talk, don't go and take loads and loads of notes. I used to try and write word for word exactly what it is that I was going to say. Now it's just bullet point format. But I've got years and years of experience and knowledge. So if I mess up or I forget my place, you know, that used to terrify me in the early years, but now it's just, you know, you laugh about it and you carry on. But bullet points are easier rather than trying to do word for word. Get in your environment early if you can. Engage with the members of the audience that are engaging with you and just try and enjoy it. And practice makes perfect, as always. So the more you do it, the better it's going to be, the easier it's going to get. Also, I'm up here now, I'm just going to grab another Red Bull. It's important to try and have something sweet to drink just to keep your throat nice and smooth. Okay, stay well hydrated, because naturally when we get nervous, our mouth dries up in a lot of cases. So you want to make sure there's water on the stage. You want to have a nice juice drink beforehand. I like Red Bull because it's kind of coffee and sweet at the same time. There's JV's top tips for public speaking in 2025.
The man you're about to meet, Joseph Valente, who's our first keynote speaker this morning. He's a former winner of the Apprentice, as I already mentioned, which means he's tamed one of the grumpiest men in Britain, but also, of course, one of the best-known entrepreneurs in Lord Sugar. Since winning in 2015, he's gone on to achieve plenty more in business, building Improgas, the UK's largest independent boiler business with annual sales of more than 10 million quid before selling it in 2020. He's now running Trade Mastermind, which I'm sure he's going to tell us all about, and it helps trade businesses to grow and expand. And he's also a mentor and an author.
Okay, great. So my aim of this keynote is to teach you how to start, scale and grow your business to 7 figures and beyond. But so I've got a good feel for the room. Can I just get an understanding? Who's doing up to £100,000 a year in turnover right now, raise your hand. What I want to do with this talk here today is to, number one, get you educated. That is the key to business growth, personal development. I want to get you motivated. I want you to believe that you can go as far as your wildest dreams can take you. And then finally, I want to help you to get results. Now, I've got to cover a lot of content in this keynote, so I'm going to be doing it at 2 times speed. Yeah, so try and keep up with me. So number one, I want to help you guys to find new customers. Well, that really is in business the first domino, lead generation. The next, I want to help you to increase your revenue. We need to drive sales in our organization if we want to get growth. Who's here because they want to make more sales? Okay, fantastic. And then finally, point number 3 is we want to generate profit. We want to build a profitable business that pays us more than just a salary. So put your hand up if you want to make more profit in your organization. Okay, fantastic. The secrets that I'm going to be covering today is first and foremost, number 1, how to generate consistent inquiries in your organization. Secret number 2 is how do we get consistent sales so we can start to predict our income and forecast our revenue. Number 3, why you need to understand your operational infrastructure if you want to scale up and grow. And then finally, number 4 is why you will always be the best investment that you will ever make.
Technology. So in the sectors in which you've operated and grown your businesses in the past, would you say the trades are sometimes a bit slower to adopt new technology? How have you used it to help in your company?
Yeah, so I run an 8-figure training business now, not a trades business, but I think for trades, AI is coming for all of us in a good way, and for some people in a bad way. It's gonna wipe out a lot of jobs in a lot of sectors. It'll probably touch the construction industry last from a physical trades point of view. But we're just about to roll out a team of AI agents. We have lots and lots of events that we run every month, and so we've got guys on the phones making those calls. A big team. If you'd have asked me that question in 3 months, I might have been able to tell you how the results were from the AI agents.
Tell us, yeah.
Absolutely, the investment in AI for every business now should be one that they consider.
Is it hard when you're such a figurehead of your business? People want to speak to Joseph Valente, don't they? They don't want to speak to your sales agent, whether it's a real human or a chatbot.
Well, that's a good thing with AI, because you can clone yourself. So now there's 2,000 phone calls a day going out to the market with my voice on it. No, it's not.
Amazing. Well, maybe next year we'll have the Joseph Valente clone and see if anyone notices. A quick thought on that from you, Joseph, because you were talking earlier about profitability, and it's something we're obsessed with actually at the times when we write about businesses. Is it a proper business? Is it making profit rather than just running on venture capital, cash and hot air? They're the kinds of businesses we like. So all this sounds great, but it's not great if you're not making enough money, is it?
Well, it depends. You can give back more when you've got the money to be able to do so. I remember Richard Branson saying, if I wanted to be charitable, me just being me, I could go and help one person. But when I become a billionaire, I can go and help 1 billion people. The more money that you've got, the more people that you can help.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for being so patient. Yeah. Some really great advice there, which I'm afraid wraps things up for this session. So please thank my fantastic panel, Nicola, Mark, Chloe and Joseph.
Sort of want to better present myself, have a better speech as well.
Yeah.
How do you find, my questions?
Practice.
Practice.
How do you get better at public speaking?
Yeah,
or presenting yourself?
Yeah.
Whack a camera out on a stand and just start talking. Do you do any content? Lives or, that's what you need to do.
Well.
Get out of your comfort zone. I started doing this when I was 25 years of age. I'm 35 now, so I've been doing it for 10 years. But when I used to walk on stage at 25, I used to be absolutely petrified. And it just takes practice. There are lots of great videos on YouTube. You can get some good public speaking books, but have a presentation, practice that presentation, and talk on something that you're an expert about. What do you know about? When you get put into a scenario where you have to talk about things that are out of your comfort zone, that's what can stumble you. But if you want to practice, pitch something that you know. And start with social media, because if you talk to a camera, you talk on socials, then this stuff will become easy. All right, champ? No worries, dude. Take care. Kevin is here today to come and inspire our Academy members and speak to them about business growth, mindset and motivation. Kevin founded Checker Trade, that's the link to the construction sector, but he's done incredible things as an entrepreneur. This man is an absolute legend. We've now had a working relationship over the last few years where Kevin's spoken, inspired many of our customers at Trade Mastermind. Last week he absolutely smashed it at the Academy.
Hi, my name's Kevin Byrne. I'm the founder of checkatrade.com, and I am at the Trade Mastermind today to try and encourage, give these tradesmen some nuggets and tell them that they really can do it, and try and get them to a point where they believe they can do it. One of the things that I truly believe with all of my heart is you can only achieve what you believe you can. I think it's probably one of the most important aspects of the course. I really admire Joe because he's achieved something in his life and he's helping others to achieve something. A very unique organization like Trade Mastermind, and I haven't come across another one anywhere. I've seen Joseph's itinerary of what is actually being taught. They've educated themselves to navigate through those things, and it's like they've forged that way through the jungle for others to follow. It's massively important. When I started Checker Trade, it took me 10 years before I'd even come to a realization that I need a business plan. And that's the problem with most entrepreneurs. They think, oh, I can do without that, and I'll just plow on. But it wasn't until I was sat down and educated that things really started to take off. Having a business plan, changing your mindset, changing your entire core belief system into I can, rather than I wonder if I can. So having a mindset is really, really key. Your business will only ever be as big as you are. They know what people have gone through. They've been through it themselves. Today, if I was in front of someone that's just telling me, rather than someone genuinely saying, this is what I went through, this is how I did it, there's no comparison, is there? When anybody comes towards me and shakes my hand, and they are successful entrepreneurs, they really know what I've gone through to be successful. So when I talk about Joe, I know what he's been through to get to this point in his business career, so I hold him with great esteem.
You blew them away, so thank you for that. And he's here today to share some of his story and some business advice with the listeners, so we're going to jump straight in. So Kevin founded Trade, built an incredible business, sold for a big number, but could you take us back to the beginning? What inspired you to start the organisation?
The desire to feed my children was a big one.
Yep.
To make my wife proud of me was a big one.
Fantastic.
But really what happened was I'd already had a little bit of experience in pulling together like a book of tradesmen, which went through all my local residents' homes. And I think I was one of the first in the UK to do that. Everyone today gets one of those little blue books through their doors, don't they? But I never really did anything with it. I never took it any further. And the reason why I made that little blue book, and it was called the Local Business Directory, was because I was a carpet cleaner. And I wanted somewhere to advertise. But after about 5 or 6 years of doing that, just once a year, and to come back to me, so I wouldn't have 20 builders in a directory. I used to do it like builders, I'd have 6, plumbers I'd have 4, electricians I'd have 3, etc., etc.
It's amazing to see how many people adopted that model, because I'm from Peterborough, and I think when I first started as a plumber, it was 2012, and there was like a local one called Safe Local Trades, there was many offshoots from that. Businesses talking great about digital marketing companies, so I've tried to stay away from it, but we're sending hundreds and hundreds of businesses into the marketplace to go and buy from other people all of their marketing and all of their leads. So I'd love to add some sort of marketing function into this, and then they'd be able to get that bit, because anytime we hear them getting results, it's they've got the leads and our sales training gets them on the sales. Anytime they're not getting results is the lead gen provider is not giving them enough leads. And so they can't execute on the training because they haven't got the leads. It's the marketing piece that's missing in that.
I agree.
Okay, great. So Kevin, I know we're going to go and do a talk upstairs in I think the next 5 minutes, so we'll wrap this one up. Thank you very much for being here, and really appreciate your time, and great to see you. Yeah, thanks for the story. Cheers. Now I'm here with Tom and Kyle, and we are just doing a one-to-one mentoring session. What I love about these two is they're not short of ideas. They've done a great presentation and put together a really nice pitch for an idea of a property retreat in Dubai. So we're going to discuss it now and see if we can make it a reality.
Okay, so here with Joseph Valente this afternoon to discuss a brand new opportunity that we can bring into Trade Mastermind. As young entrepreneurs, we're always looking for that next step, that next opportunity, that next payday. And we believe that we can bring a fantastic opportunity to the business that can do just that.
Okay, so the whole idea in and around this is keeping Joe out the business. He's recently brought Lee Shepherd into the organisation to manage the day-to-day operations of the business. So what we've done is came up with an idea that keeps Joe outside of the business, and equally he can have a good time away and generate a lot of revenue. Right, so should we get started? So the whole idea with this is, when we last had a conversation, it was like, what can we do to bring some revenue into the business? What we've come up with is the Dubai property and business retreat.
But to have health and fitness in as well, you know, as a business owner, you know, what more could you possibly want to understand the knowledge to increase your business, then your investment strategy that you can work as a second arm alongside it, and then health and fitness. So to have a 5-day retreat where we can have somebody to come, probably yourself, to come and talk on the business side of things, and we do masterminds for the 5-day, us come in on the property side of things, and then we have like someone like Dom where you can come in and be doing PT sessions throughout the day. So that's the whole overview of it, but Carl's going to break it down into what that kind of 5-day will look like.
What's up UFB? It's Tuesday morning and I'm on the way to the office, 7 AM, and we're getting into a nice little routine actually at the moment, where we are shooting 1 to 2 YouTube videos a day. Nothing too fancy, just a 10-minute educational piece. Something that's just going to help connect with you guys in between every UFB episode, to give you some value, to provide you with some knowledge, to offer out some advice that's hopefully going to get you where you want to be in life. I'm a big believer that with the right mentorship, the right guidance, the right education, you can become anybody that you want to be. And hopefully our content starts to inspire people to believe in themselves, inspire people to level up, inspire people to grow both personally, professionally, and financially. So I think that's key. And I want to see you guys win, you know that. And if you're watching our YouTube channel, hopefully it's giving you what you need, the ingredients you need to become successful. Because I'm a big believer that success leaves clues. You don't need to make it up on your own. You just need to follow what somebody else has done, that's been there, done it, got the t-shirt.